every fight to make next in the UFC Bantamweight division. A lot of fights that should be announced soon. I mean, the whole top 10 does not have any fights. The only fight in the top 15 that has a fight scheduled is Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Pedro Munoz. And we just got news that Ricky Simone also has a fight scheduled. I'm assuming it's either going to be Rob Font's, Frankie Edgar, or probably one of those two. Rob Font or Frankie Edgar is the most likely opponent that I see for Ricky Simone, since he did say he does have a fight scheduled. But out of all of the divisions, this is the only one that nobody has fight scheduled here. So we're gonna go to the bottom, and Jack Shore as the first guy, the number 15 UFC bantamweight in the world. Marlon Morris is just there, but he has retired from MMA, so they should remove him from the rankings. But whatever the case may be. Jack Shore, who should Jack Shore fight next? Right now, he's coming off a very good win over Timur Valiev, Ludwig Shalinyan, Hunter Azure right there, Aaron Phillips, and a lot of other solid guys. Does he deserve to go up in the rankings right now? Marlon Morris, he's not fighting anymore. Ricky Simone has his fight with Pedro Munoz. Simone probably not going to go down the rankings. Edgar could fight Jack Shore. It's possible. But does he deserve it after a Timur Valiev close decision? No, I do not think so. I think this is one of those scenarios where a guy just got in that top 15, probably needs to prove that he is top 15 material and fight an unranked guy. I don't think Shore deserves a ranked opponent just yet after a win over Timur Valiev. So right now I'm thinking guys like Victor Henry, maybe like an Adrian Yanez. Those would be very, very good fight. Montel Jackson would be a good one. Maybe Umar Nurmagomedov would be good as well, but I don't like seeing two very, very good prospects go at each other. But again, Adrian Yanez is another one of those very good prospects. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Adrian Yanez, if he can go out there and beat Tony Kelly in a very, very dominant fashion, I'm going to say Adrian Yanez versus Jack Shore. Victor Henry could possibly be there next with one more win. Said Nurmagomedov could be in the top 15 with one more win. But for right now, I'm going to say Adrian Yanez versus Jack Shore, if he can go out there and beat Tony Kelly in his next fight. I think that one's going to be happening pretty soon, in like a month or two, so that should be a very interesting fight. So the first one, Jack Shore versus Adrian Yanez, if he beats Tony Kelly. After that one, we're going to go on to the number 14 guy, Marlon Morris. Yeah, he's no longer in the rankings. He's retired. Sean O'Malley already has his fight with Pedro Munoz. Ricky Simone, not going to go down the rankings, is definitely going to go up. And I have a feeling it's going to be with Rob Font, but I don't know. Dominic Cruz is not going down the rankings again. He already beat Pedro Munoz, who's above Ricky Simone. But the only guy that really makes sense for Ricky Simone is Frankie Edgar. It's not that big of a step up in competition, but that's probably the only fight he can get right now. So Ricky Simone, Frankie Edgar, two very good wrestlers in this bantamweight division. Ricky Simone versus Frankie Edgar. So Ricky Simone said he has a fight scheduled, and I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. We don't know if that's going to be official. So maybe after I made this video, he gets a completely different opponent, but that's what I'm thinking as of right now. Pedro Munoz already is fighting Sean O'Malley. Song Yadong. Who should Song Yadong fight next? Not anyone in the top 5. He doesn't deserve that one just yet. Song Yadong versus Rob Font. I like that. I do like that fight. Song Yadong versus Rob Font next. Co-main event. 3 rounds. Song Yadong versus Rob Font. Very, very good fight there. Two really good strikers. One that has a lot of power, and then one that has a lot of volume right there. I'm honestly leaning towards Song Yadong to win that fight, but it's a very, very good one in the bantamweight division. After that one, we got Dominic Cruz, and the only guy that makes sense is not going to be Rob Font. He's not going to go down the rankings. He's not going to fight a wrestler in Merab Dvalishvili. Not going to fight Marlon Vera. He's coming off a good win over Rob Font. Gonna fight someone coming off a loss in Corey Sandhagen. Dominic Cruz and Corey Sandhagen, two very unique strikers for this bantamweight division, going at it. Corey Sandhagen versus Dominic Cruz. Very good fight in the bantamweight division. Merab Dvalishvili. Who should Merab fight next? I know a lot of you guys were thinking Merab versus Corey Sandhagen, but I don't think so just yet. I'm gonna say, for right now, Merab Dvalishvili versus the loser of TJ Dillashaw and Aljamain Sterling, because I do think that's going to be the next fight to be made. Merab Devalishvili, if I'm spelling that one correctly, versus the loser of Aljamain Sterling and, what was the one I said? TJ Dillashaw. And TJ Dillashaw. If the loser is TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw. That would be the fight to make there. After Merab Devalishvili, it's interesting as well, because you got Marlon Vera there. I already said Corey Sandhagen, Dominic Cruz. I already got fights for Merab, for Rob Font, for TJ Dillashaw, for Aljamain Sterling. Good fight to make. Petr Yan versus Marlon Chito Vera. It's interesting, but then there's Jose Aldo there, which makes it tough, because you can make Marlon Vera versus Petr Yan, but Jose Aldo already beat Marlon Vera. It's so tough. It's so tough, guys. Who in the world? Because they could do the rematch with TJ Dillashaw and Jose Aldo as well. Or not the rematch. They could do the rematch with Jose Aldo and Petr Yan as well. But I don't know. This is tough. I might have to rethink what I just put. Merab Devalishvili, we're going to put him versus the loser of Dillashaw and Jose Aldo. I'm actually going to switch that one. I'm going to put the loser of Jose Aldo and TJ Dillashaw. And after that one, in the UFC rankings, got Marlon Vera right there. Jose Aldo, TJ Dillashaw. Then we're going to do Marlon Vera versus Petr Yan. That is a crazy good fight. Marlon Vera versus Petr Yan, however you guys want to say it. And then the last one being Aljamain Sterling versus winner of TJ Dillashaw and Jose Aldo. Those are the fights I do think should be made next in the UFC Bantamweight division. We got Jack Shore versus Adrian Yanez if he does go out there and beat Tony Kelly. We got Ricky Simone and Frankie Edgar. We got Song Yadong versus Rob Font, Corey Sandhagen, Dominic Cruz, Merab Devalishvili, and Jose Aldo, or TJ Dillashaw. It's really the loser of that fight. We also got Marlon Vera versus Petr Yan, and we got Aljamain Sterling versus the winner of TJ Dillashaw and Jose Aldo. Fights that have already been announced in this top 15 are Pedro Munoz and Sugar Sean O'Malley. That is literally it. So we just matched up the entire top 15 of the Bantamweight division. Now, there's a few other guys that could have got that fight with Jack Shore. Plenty of guys. And there's a lot of fights here like the fight here with Ricky Simone and Frankie Edgar. The loser of that fight, if it does eventually get made, the loser of that fight can definitely fight one of the other up-and-comers, like a Said Nurmagomedov, like a Victor Henry, possibly even a guy way down in the rankings like Nate Maness or something like that, or Umar Nurmagomedov. There are plenty of guys that could fight here in the UFC top 15. Said Nurmagomedov, Umar Nurmagomedov, plenty of guys. But yeah, those are my list of fights to make in the top 15 of the UFC Bantamweight division. Put your thoughts down below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go.